Good mid-afternoon, everybody, and one of the most probable, most unexpected, most miraculous things I've seen as a fan of Michigan in my 40 years on this planet, on this beautiful, glorious, snowy Saturday, November 30th at 3:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Michigan Wolverines, yes, you heard it right, the Michigan Wolverines, the defending national champions, and 5-loss Michigan national champions, mind you, the second worst season ever from a defending national champion, upsets number 2 Ohio State in Columbus for their 4th straight victory in the rivalry, sealing the fate for Ryan Day as he will be fired at the end of the season. My own sources is me who says this in the state of Michigan. And Ohio State shows one of the most unethical and most unsportsmanlike moments you will ever see at the end of the game when Michigan plants the flag in the middle of their field, rightfully so, after the embarrassment Ohio State showed. And Ohio State fights Michigan live on TV during the interview, and there were some fisticuffs that way. Ryan Day will be fired at the end of the season. We just dethroned Ohio State, and it's a matter of fact now. Next year, we have Bryce Underwood, the number 1 player in Michigan's history, coming in as a recruit. And we're going to be back next year, and we're going to be fighting for the title for the next 4 to 5 years. You heard this first. Michigan defeats Ohio State in Columbus 13-10, ending the tenure of Ryan Day, probably effective immediately, but we'll see how things shake out. But the Ohio State Buckeyes have literally just crawled into a hole, and they have just witnessed the worst defeat in their program's history to the Michigan State Wolverine, or Ohio State experienced the worst defeat that they've ever experienced in Columbus. And the Michigan football Wolverines pull off the most improbable win in my lifetime as 21.5-point underdogs defeat Ohio State 13-10 in Columbus and knocking Ohio State likely out of the college football playoff.